Hey, 8th grade. So today we're going to start talking about the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram, and our focus question is how do we classify, characterize, and compare stars? Stars are huge spheres of gas made up of mostly hydrogen, and the characteristics that we use to classify them include color, temperature, size, composition, and brightness. Color reveals the surface temperature of a star. The coolest stars appear red, and they're about 3,200 degrees Celsius. Medium temperature stars are yellow, and they're about 5,500 degrees Celsius, while the warmest stars appear blue, and they're over 20,000 degrees Celsius. Many stars are about the same size as our sun. However, some stars are larger, and these are what we call supergiants or giants. Most stars are smaller than the sun, and we call these white dwarfs or neutron stars. The brightness of a star depends on both its size and its temperature. There's two different ways that we measure brightness. One is apparent brightness, which is the brightness as seen from Earth, and then the other is absolute brightness, which is the brightness that the star would have at a standard distance away from Earth. About 100 years ago, two scientists, Hertzsprung and Russell from Denmark and the United States, made graphs to find out if the temperature and the absolute brightness of stars is related. So they came up with what's called the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram, and this plots surface temperatures of stars on the x-axis and the absolute brightness on the y-axis. So if you look at this diagram, there's a lot of things you can notice. First, across the top is the color, which relates to the surface temperature, which is also listed below. This is a gradient going from right to left, increasing in temperature in degrees Celsius. And then up what would be considered a y-axis, you have increasing absolute brightness. So one thing you'll notice is that they have these dotted lines. Within this dotted line down here is all white dwarfs. Within this dotted line is all main sequence or protostars. And then we have our giants and our supergiants. So from this, you can compare stars. So from just looking at this, you could say Procyon has a lower absolute brightness than Canopus, but they do have similar surface temperatures, both being in the yellow. You could also say that the sun has a surface temperature between 5,000 and 6,000 and is yellow, while Regulus has a temperature between 20 and 50,000 and is blue or blue-white. So this is used for comparisons of the stars. Go ahead and move on to your worksheet for today. Once you complete that, you may be on Quizlet.